Welcome to Shirley's Journeys. I'm Shirley, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to pack for your flight. As most of you probably know, you're allowed to take a checked bag and a personal item. The personal item for your flight could be a book or a tablet or a purse, anything that can fit under the seat in front of you. Well, I choose to have a backpack as my personal item. This way I can have more things nearby and a backpack will fit under the seat in front of me. Of course, my short feet and legs allow me to do that very easily. If you have long legs and larger feet, you might not want to fill up a lot of that space under the seat in front of you with a backpack. You might prefer to have a smaller bag, but this works well for me. Let me tell you what I put in my carry item. Oh, but before I do that, it is 2021 and it is now pandemic time and we are just back to flying again. My first flight in so long and I'm looking forward to it. But something new I have to be used to is the mask. So I have my mask. I'm ready to take it with me on the flight. You have to have your mask when you're checking in at the airport, the whole time you're in the terminal, as you board the plane, the whole time you're in the plane unless you're actively eating or drinking. And so for that reason, I have this mask ready. Now I have that dilemma of glasses and masks where it fogs up and drives me nuts. And recently I found a new product. It's made by 3M. When I found it on Amazon, there are 15 little strips and you'll notice they're curved. This is like the nose area, the very center of the strip. And to use this, you just peel it off from the edge. You peel one strip at a time and you put it on your mask. And you'll notice that mine is on. I placed it right below the stitching, right below the little metal piece that I use to shape around my nose. That's the perfect spot for me. And I read reviews when I ordered this that said sometimes you have to play with the placement to make it work for you well. But now I can put on my mask, put it up over my nose, and that nice little bumper keeps things from fogging up. It is wonderful. So I can't wait to use this on my flight so that I'm not fogging up every moment with my breathing. Also, you are allowed to take off your mask if you're eating or drinking, and I found another product that I'm anxious to try. Let's see, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. It's a lanyard of sorts. Now, this particular lanyard I found on Etsy, and it's not your basic lanyard that hangs around and has a clip in the middle. Instead, this one is meant to be going around each one of the loops, and it has a snap fastener. I saw some other ones that had like a hook and had a little clasp, and you had to fiddle with the clasp. I can work a snap much better, so I can put that on both ear loops, just snap it right on. And now anytime I take off my mask, I don't have to decide, am I putting it in my pocket? Do I put it in my purse? Do I just hold on to it? What do I do with this thing if I'm eating or drinking? Now it just hangs around my neck. Perfect. Now I don't need this in my house, so mask away at the moment. Don't even want to think about it, then I don't have to. The first thing I'm going to put in my personal item backpack is a change of clothes. Now you might wonder, why are you putting a change of clothes in your backpack when you have a carry-on? Well, it's just going to take a little more space out of my carry-on. Plus, if for some reason I get separated between my backpack and my carry-on, I do still have a change of clothes. I like to use a packing cube. In this, I just have a change of underwear, a t-shirt, and some pants. And I put it in the wide spot. Now, this backpack has several zippers. That's why I love it so much. The one I will use here is the center zipper where it has the big cavernous hole where you can put all kinds of things. So I will put this packing cube of clothes in the backpack, press it all the way down to the bottom. I do it in the very first thing I pack because I don't anticipate needing that change of clothes. Plus, it helps give my backpack more stability while I'm packing my other things. The next thing I'm going to put in my backpack is a lightweight jacket. I have this jacket that's nice and lightweight, and it can be rolled up compactly and put in my backpack. Then if I get chilly on the airplane, I can put it on. Plus, it's 90 degrees where I live right now, and it's going to be much cooler at my destination. I also like to take a blanket, a lightweight blanket that I can use on the airplane that's just mine. No one else has had their body all over it, and it's thin but warm enough that I will be comfortable, and it can pack in my backpack. Next is my neck pillow. It fits really well in the backpack, and I like to put it where the rounded part is near the rounded part of my backpack. Takes up the space perfectly, keeps it shaped just right, and you still got a cavernous hole right there where you can put something else. And the thing I put there are my headphones. I never knew I would love over-the-ear, noise-canceling headphones as much as I do. The first time I used them on a plane and blocked out all that engine noise was wonderful. And the second time I used them on the plane and blocked out a crying baby, that was even better. Now, the thing to remember, though, about headphones, they come in all kinds. This particular set that I have has the headphone jack. Looks like this, the little adapter that goes, just the headphones. Now, many airplanes still have this kind of receptacle for you to plug in if you have a monitor on their airplane, and you can use it to listen to things on the airplane. But my smartphone does not have this hole to fit. So I had to buy an adapter. So I put the adapter on that end, and then I can plug my cell phone in. So I could listen to something that I have already on that device. Another thing about these headphones is they do require one AAA battery. And I usually put a AAA battery in the headphone itself just prior to flying, because I don't want to run the risk of keeping it stored in there and it might corrode and mess up my nice headphones. So I put one in the set, and then I have an extra one in the battery case. There's a place to keep a battery, so I keep an extra one there. This little case keeps it nice and protected, all in one little place, without your cords getting all wrapped up into everything else you have, and I put that in my backpack. Now I can zip it up, and the big compartment is ready. On this backpack, I have a smaller compartment in the front, and this is a wonderful little compartment because it has a zipper pouch right there that's perfect for putting things where I want to get to it easily and I don't want to have to dig a long time. In that pouch, I find handy to have my little earbud headphones for those times that I just don't want to wear the big noise canceling ones. I have my charger. I keep a little packet of tissues. And I like to have a notepad and a pen. Now, I know I can use the Notes app on my phone, but I am old school. In fact, I'm just old. So I like a notepad. So this way I have some paper, I have a pen. If I need to jot a note down, I am ready. Also, in this section of my backpack, I will have snacks. Gone are the days that you could depend on an airline to give you some snacks. I bring my own for several reasons. One is that I might get hungry and just want something to eat. Another is you could have an airline delay. You might be stuck on the plane at the tarmac for any number of reasons and be hungry. So I do carry some snacks. Keep in mind that if you have something like chips or like my Cheez-Its here, they will inflate. The bag will get puffy because of the pressurized cabin. So far, I've never had one explode, but if I do, it's in its own little Ziploc bag, so if for some reason the bag breaks open, it will catch everything and I won't have crumbs all in my backpack. Then I put my little toiletry bag in there. It has some deodorant, some emergency dental floss, a ponytail holder, a couple of safety pins, and a hairbrush and toothbrush. And make sure you cover your toothbrush. You don't want the bristles from the hairbrush mixing with the bristles of the toothbrush. That's just gross. I also have a little first aid pack. Here's my little first aid pack, and I keep it in its own separate little baggie. Can you tell now I really like zipper type baggies? In this particular one, I have some alcohol wipes, a first aid wipe, 3 different sizes of Band-Aids, a small, medium, and large, and a little pill package. And inside this, I usually have 2 or 3 Tylenols, maybe a Pepto tablet, an antihistamine, and some Imodium, just in case. So I put all of my little first aid things in their little bag and then drop that bag into my toiletry bag. Zip it all up and it goes in this little pouch. Finally, I have my little TSA approved baggie. Now, if you've flown any, you already know about the TSA bag, but you cannot carry liquids on board the plane unless they're in an approved container, and none of the individual things in your container can be more than 3.4 ounces. So I have a small travel toothpaste, I have some eye drops, I have some hand sanitizer, and I went ahead and put in my little pack of wet ones. I don't know that it has to go in the liquids bag, but it was just a good place to put it since it is a little moist. So just to be better safe than sorry, I'll go ahead and put it in my little bag. This way it's right here in the front so that when I get to the security line, all I have to do is open this little zipper, put it out, and stick it in the compartment. Now I can zip this up. Of course, you need your ID. So I have this nifty little passport holder, holds my passport, has a place for a vaccination ID. I put that in this front little zipper because it makes it very easy to access when I need to show my ID. I'll also put my printed boarding pass in there. Yes, I know you can get your boarding pass delivered to your phone and you can use it as a mobile boarding pass. But I'm old school. I really like to have things printed out. What if my phone dies? What if it crashes? I want proof that I can get on that plane and get on that plane now. So I will print my boarding pass and it will go in my passport and it will be ready. And I will probably use the mobile pass, but I like having the paper one. Now, I will have to do a little work on my trip, so I will take my small laptop. I have my little Surface Pro in this bag, and it fits nicely in the back zipper. You'll notice that I have a zipper section right here that's thin, and the laptop goes right in it. Also, convenient to putting out for TSA security. Because when you go through security, not only do you have to put your liquids in there, they usually ask you to take out your electronic devices as well. So I'll be able to zip it right out of here and put it in one of their bins, take it out of its little case, put it in one of their bins. And then when I get through the security, I can stick it back in my backpack. Finally, I like to take a Contigo for my water. Now remember, you cannot bring water through security, so you cannot bring your water from home. But once you've gone through security, I like to go through one of the fast food restaurants and get a cup of ice water, and then I will put the ice water in my cup. I'll seal it up. Then when I want to drink, I open up the little snap seal button and I can drink. I close the snap seal and nothing will leak out. Now sometimes there will be a little bit of your liquid still on the outside edge from where you just drank. That can be dried off very easily before you put it in anything. But the thing about this backpack, it has this wonderful little pouch on the side, and my cup fits right in there, nice and secure. So I've got a great place to put it. It also has one on the other side, so if I wanted to bring a spare extra bottle of water, I could. Now this bag is quite heavy, and I probably don't really want to lug it all around the airport. So probably what I will do once I've gotten past security and all the things that I have to get in and out is take my laptop out and put it into my checked bag. That will eliminate some of the weight that I'm carrying around on my back. However, I want to make sure there's enough room in my backpack just in case, because sometimes the overhead bins get full and they make you gate check your carry-on bag. And if that's the case, you have to be able to take your laptop out and put it somewhere. So I just go ahead and make sure I have enough room to begin with in here. But then if this can go on the plane with me, I'm moving it. I might keep it out if I was going to be on a really long flight and I had some movies loaded to my laptop to watch. But for the most part, it can go in here, be just fine. I may not have taught you a single thing today that you didn't already know. Maybe you learned one thing anyway, But regardless, I know you are excited about traveling again. I know I'm excited about traveling again. Thanks for watching Shirley's Journeys. I invite you to subscribe, and I wish for you pleasant journeys always.